When we began at first, I think we were definitely in two separate worlds. And I don't necessarily mean in terms of aesthetic or congeniality, for lack of a better term, but he had the piano and I was singing, and there were parts where it would coalesce. But as far as the creative process went, it was still very contrasted.
Our first few sessions were very difficult for me because I hadn't heard the piano go there before. And it sounds sometimes like if memories had sounds themselves, that's what they would sound like. As they pass through time, they just start to get dimmer and more distorted.
My creative process is quite a bit based on randomness and chance procedure, and I use composition and my voice to rein it in a little bit, but ultimately I enjoy kind of not knowing what I'm doing.
Well, it's a lifetime for me. Like I said, I don't remember what age I was, but I don't remember starting. I don't remember when or how I learned to read music. My mother was a pianist, so I know there was a piano always around and sheet music. I've never been into electronic music, except for the time element. We do a lot of sampling. We make our own samples. But they're still basically acoustic based, you see what I mean? But I use electronics for the time element. And in the old days, the analog days, I made tape loops. And it's interesting to see Ian come back with that in ways that no one thought of, to be honest. I had to use reel-to-reel tapes for tape delays in loops and all that, but he does it with these little cassettes. But the time thing, yeah, I used to use digital delays or tape delays or memory.
I guess it is explicitly time-based. I mean, we are all explicitly time-based. It's neat to have had a background in visual art and to come to understand that also as a time-based way of making. Because you would see a painting or a print or something like that and assume that it's instantaneous, or there's just, it's a moment. You can kind of grok it all together at once. But it's not that way at all. I mean, it's still a thing that exists in space and in time, and it will reveal different aspects of itself to you as you give it more attention. Music is very interesting because I think it is explicitly tempo, and the loops are another way of creating an even more granular aspect of that. Watching or experiencing that cyclical form of time in a way expands it into something else entirely, and I find that really generative. It's a way of kind of seeing those loops inside of yourself and the way in which those smaller moments and those larger moments, even moments as large as a painting existing kind of in perpetuity. No?
You couldn't even get it to play. The glass is so thick.
Oh, shoot, yeah. And I see the distortion that you're talking about.
Yeah. The yellow one is...
Well, you said Riddell?
Well, they have them.
Those are the right ones?
It sounds pretty good. Pretty much like the one that we use.
Well, yeah, you don't need to test it to know. Yeah.
We try to solve this one. Play it first.
Oh, sorry. I got it. Yeah, that's good enough?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're just going to rub it, right? Or strike it.
Carlos, where are you?
Oh, that's a good call. I have the mics hanging out above the glasses.
What's that?
So imagine when I have the mics hanging out above the glasses. It's not this sweet.
Why? Because they'll drop into it. Play that note for me. Look an octave. This is flat, so you can't get flatter. This okay. This is flat, no, you can't get sharper. There's distortion in this one. Hear that? It's supposed to be. It was me. The table. What was that?
So we got a G and a G sharp.
G sharp.
Well, that's kind of. Yeah.
We'll make it a
Okay.
Today we did a wine glass, just with two pitches, an E flat and a G, as I recall, and we used that as like reciting tones to go around. And out of those two notes, I don't know how long we played, and sang quite a while. So I'm intrigued by the process. I'm surprised at how it's working. I have a friend who's a Buddhist and meditates and all that, as good Buddhists do, and sees in what I do when looking at me work as something approximating that, because that's when I'm most at peace and the happiest when I'm working. And so that's just so intertwined with my life. I dream music, you know.
Tell us some musical dreams.
Well, the last one is the one I just mentioned, River of a Thousand Streams. It started on the banks of the Yellowstone River, and in the morning, sitting out by the river and watching it, and then the next morning, it had all come to me. The whole piece was done, basically. And I don't usually jump up and write anything down. I just say, oh, I'll remember it. And most of the time, I don't. So when you have something like that, you just gotta remind yourself. And so it doesn't happen often. It's not like I dream music all the time. I mostly have nightmares, but no, it's not. I'm kidding. But yeah. I do have a recurring one. I'm lost somewhere, usually in a city, or the most horrible one is when I'm lost on a college campus, you know. And because I recognize some of the buildings, but no way out. There's never a way out. And sometimes I'm with somebody and we don't get out ever. That's a recurring dream. So.
It seems to be the instrument for myself that rings the most true. It's lovely. It's a lovely feeling having it come out of me, and yeah, I'm not sure if it's the bias of a vocalist, but it feels like one of the most human endeavors. Singing and dancing are really beautiful to me. I think as far as my own practice goes, at some point it did occur to me that it was important to include that body in the compositions. When I first started out, it wasn't that way at all. I was more working with synths and tape decks predominantly, and didn't have voice in there. Yeah, I started craving having myself inside those worlds. I used to sing a lot in choirs and did some training. Would do singer-songwriter material, and that's where the voice lived. It seemed like it was more of a classical instrument or something that you would use to sing a poem with or perform a piece with. So watching those two worlds slowly come together, I think, was a result of wanting myself to be inserted into these kind of more textural backgrounds somehow. So.
Music's about time. And the thing that holds music together is repetition. And looping's a great way to have built-in repetition, so to speak. If you didn't have repetition in music, you would have no anchor, no way to comprehend it, really. So that's been around since the beginning of time, so to speak. Well, now we have, we need one more piece we'll play?
I think, yeah. One more go, and then a backup, and then...
His first cigar?
This is my first cigar. This is the celebration cigar. I was being ginger with my voice up until now, but we're going to do a froggy take, as you say, yeah.
A little Louis Armstrong.
That's good, that's good. It's tasty. Yeah, I hope I'm doing it right.
It's been a great experience, my goodness. I never could have imagined, by the way. Working with you.
Me too, man.
Right on.
Yeah, I'm really grateful for this time spent with you. Yeah.
Now, get back to the other kind of work. At least you get to go on a plane where you can get distorted time.
Yeah.
Oh no, you're in the same time zone, that's right.
That's true, but planes are kind of distorted time unto themselves, I think so.
Oh yeah. That's great. Thank you.
Thank you.